Okay, sixth graders, I was getting a few questions about you working on this reflection and what all of that means. So I'm going to take a little time and I'm going to walk you through each example that I provided. If you don't want to do one of those examples because you have a different idea, or you have a poster at home, or you have a shoebox at home that you wanted to get a little more creative with on your reflection, awesome. Email me and we can talk about that other option. Okay, so let me kind of walk through each one of these. The first one says a video reflection. So here's what I mean by that. Hi, Mrs. Vervaldi. This week I read a book that was all about the relationships between brothers, and then the relationship between my main character and his parents. And the two characters that I want to start talking about, because I think they have such a interesting brotherly relationship, are Skip and Will. Skip is the older brother. Will is the younger one. And here's the thing. I have an older brother, and sometimes the way Skip treated Will is how my brother would treat me. For example, on page 10, as I was reading, Skip came into Will's room for no reason and stuck a huge wad of tape right on the top of his head. My brother probably would have done that to me. But the thing about Will is he was kind of a baby about his older brother. Another example of this interaction would be later in the story. They were both outside playing basketball before dinner, and Skip just chucked the ball at Will because Will didn't want to play horse. So Will, of course, runs inside again to his mom. We see this over and over again in the story. But what I find interesting is that the relationship between Will and his mom is a lot different than the relationship between Will and his dad. He is kind of intimidated by his dad, and he doesn't want to ever show that he's weak in front of his dad. But with his mom, he is basically just a baby. So there are a few other relationships that I want to talk about too, but that's just to give you a little background information. One of the journal pages that I thought about doing was the journal page with all those different relationships and how they feel about each other. So I put Will in the middle, and I talked about his mom, I talked about his dad, and I talked about his brother Skip. So I'd like to kind of break that down for you right now. Sixth grade, example 1. That was just the start of it. And notice, I kind of had the script in my mind before I came onto the video to start talking about it. So another option was the Google Slides reflection. I showed that example yesterday in the Ed puzzle, but what you could do is you could take those Google Slides and in chronological order of the story, have a page number and then a quote, and then maybe you come on as a voiceover and you explain that slide. Or maybe you explain the slide in the notes, or you do the slide as if you're talking and you kind of number it 1 through 4 and then the next slide. However you organize that so that I as the listener or I as the reader understand what your thoughts are about the relationships in the story. Another example, the journal pages reflection. You could simply do what we did last week and then add your personal reflections to it. So a lot of you handed in great journal pages, but what I asked you to do in addition was to add what you thought about it. What did you think about when Will and Skip got in an argument? What did you think about how Will always went to his mom? Do you relate to that? Do you not? Right? So that's adding your own opinion and thought. A voice recording. So this could look a couple different ways. You could find a picture of the cover of your book and then have that be the video and your voice just in the background. Sometimes I do that with a paper on the ground, right? You could simply just send me a voice recording of your reflections, which is fine as well. Another thought that I had that's not one of those 4 is you could do a daily blog or like a daily vlog, video blog, where every day after you read, you come on and you say something like, all right, today I read from page 1 to page 45, and let me tell you, there were some crazy relationship happenings. First, Skip came into the room out of nowhere and put tape in his brother's hair, right? And then you talk about your reflections about that. Then tomorrow you get on and you say, we're back at it, page 45 to 70, and this is what happened, right? So make it your own, but I really would like your thoughts to be part of this. This is week 3, the final week of book clubs, and I want to see your thinking added to all the evidence from the text. All right, let me show you the rubric one more time. If you didn't see this yesterday, here are some guidelines. 1 through 5 offer you ideas for what you could do in your reflection. Those are the 5 things I'm going to be looking for. Then, as you look deeper into your reflection, I gave a few ideas. You might want to use video, pictures, and voice. Great, combine them. Maybe you're not as tech savvy, so you do a video that you just hold up a journal page. Find what works for you and do it to the best of your abilities. That's what I'm looking for Friday.